Has someone thrown something at you like a sandwich? I actually have had stuff thrown at me before, which is shocking because you never expect somebody to throw something at a Subway worker. And I actually know somebody in the past who actually threw a sandwich at a customer, but you have to hear the story to understand why. But first, about 22% of you guys are subscribed and 77% aren't. So if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing and turn on the bell notifications. Working at Subway, you definitely meet some interesting characters. And it's kind of weird because it feels like some of the customers that come in have never been trained any etiquette and going to restaurants by their parents. And these are like grown people, like these are like 30, 40-year-olds. So something that commonly happens is whenever I go to ring up a customer, instead of handing me whatever the change is or the dollar amount is, they'll kind of slide it across the table. And well, a lot of the times when they do that, it actually falls onto the ground and I have to like literally bend over and pick up the change. And I mean, this might not seem like a big deal, but it's a little rude in my eyes. And I'm sure this happens to a lot of other fast food employees, and well, it's just not fun to deal with. And I think something even more annoying is that a couple times I've had a customer slide their chips across the counter and it'll fall onto the floor, and the customer will get mad at me because I let the chips fall on the floor, and they're like, I'm not taking this bag of chips. I'm going to take a bag of chips that doesn't have cracked chips because it fell on the floor. And I'm like, sir, you're the one that slid it across the table that got it on the floor. And you say, did somebody ever throw a sandwich, or have I ever thrown a sandwich? And I've never personally thrown a sandwich. Not my Subway. Nobody's ever thrown a sandwich at me. I mean, come on, how ridiculous is that? Well, it's not too ridiculous because my brother told me a story one time about how one of his friends that worked at a Subway actually threw a sandwich at a customer. The customer was basically giving the guy a huge attitude, and at one point a fight started to break out. Not physical, but verbal. And the guy said, this is why you're going to work at Subway for the rest of your life and work at this dead-end job. And the person's parents own the Subway, and well, he wasn't having it. So I think it was the final straw, and well, he literally threw the sandwich at the customer, and obviously the customer reported to corporate, and the employee that threw the sandwich had to take like a leave for a couple months and do like this training where he had to agree like, I will never throw a sandwich at a customer ever again in my entire life. But I mean, if you ask me, if a customer's telling you that you're going to work a dead-end job at Subway the rest of your life, maybe he had it coming. Okay, I shouldn't say that, but you know, I'll always side with the sandwich artist.